Hey guys, how you doing? It's Jesse with journal number 4, and things are looking up for me. As you all may or may not know, I was having kind of a rough time. The teacher that I was with didn't really, she wasn't giving me what I needed out of my field experience. I think all of you had at least heard a little bit about that. And Dr. Young was nice enough to work with me and work with some other schools, and I am now placed at Lakewood High School. I don't know if you guys know anything about the Jeffco, South Jeffco schools. Um, that's where I grew up. So not only is it closer to my house, but I'm more familiar with the area. Um, so yeah, I'm there now, and it is great. I'm having a great time. I went there on Friday, and immediately, right off the bat, I was accepted into the kind of program. I was kind of accepted as part of the team. Everybody was really nice and really accepting of my situation. I know it's kind of unique since I'm halfway through the semester and switching schools. Nobody gave me any dirty looks like I was getting at ease sometimes. Everybody was very respectful, including the kids. So, generally speaking, very good. Very good. I am so much happier. I actually ended up spending 8 hours at Lakewood on Friday. Um, I hadn't really expected to spend that much time. I was kind of expecting to get in there, get my foot in the door, and not really be able to get into any classes just because I figured that we didn't want to push me on anybody, you know? So, but actually, as it turned out, I observed 6 different classes, I think, and 6 different teachers, and all of them were open and willing to have me in there. And I didn't do any teaching or any lessons because it was my first day, and I mean, obviously, right off the bat, I wasn't going to be doing any teaching, but I did some observing, I did some tutoring, I helped pass stuff out, I did all the basic stuff that took me 2, 3 weeks to get into at East. So that was great. What else do I got here? So everyone's accepting me. I feel like I'm part of the team now. And on a side note, the lady I'm with, her name is Carol. I shouldn't use her name. But that's all right. We'll move on. She bought me lunch. Yeah, they do like once a month. They do these lunch things for people who have birthdays, and she was nice enough to buy me a Jimmy John's sandwich. So that was awesome. um, so yeah, as far as my observation goes, I had a chance to see a couple different classes. The first one I saw was an ESL Algebra 1 class. So that was students who are, we all know, learning English as a second language, and they're in Algebra 1. So it's kind of some basic math, and they struggle with the comprehension of, like word problems and stuff like that. So I was able to jump in there right off the bat, and the lady who was teaching that was really nice. She accepted me right away. I walked around. She was doing some grading kind of thing, and I walked around and helped almost all the kids at least. There was probably they're smaller classes, about 15 to 20 kids in this class, and I was able to get around and help almost all of them with this. It was a worksheet, but it's really important, I think, for them to practice reading. It was a bunch of word problems. So I was able to go around and help them. I didn't speak any Spanish because the kids in there know how to communicate using English, but they don't. I mean, there was no need for me to speak Spanish. Most of them were Spanish. Their primary language was Spanish. So, um, but yeah, so that's the first class I observed. I was able to go around and tutor kids, help them with their worksheets. Then what was the second one? Yeah, so she gave me an option. She pretty much said, "Here, you can go to any of these that you want, and we'll just make it happen." So I was like, "Sweet." So I actually was able to watch a team taught class. So this is a class with maybe 25 kids. I don't even think there was more than 30 kids. I didn't count, but 25, 30 kids, and it was taught by 2 teachers. And I'd never seen that before. So I was really excited to just watch how they do it. And it was one male, one female, and they rocked it. They worked pretty well together. They weren't like a well-oiled machine by any means. It was their first year teaching as a team, but they really killed it. So far, what I've seen here, less mimetic teaching, way more constructivist. In this team taught class in particular, I saw they did a graphing drill. So each kid got a little whiteboard and a marker and an eraser. And they had timers up on the smart board, 4 different timers for 4 different activities. One started at a minute and a half, one was a minute, one was 30 seconds, and one was 15 seconds. And the teacher one of them would be at the timer and would hit go right at the same time that the other teacher would write an equation on the board. And what they had to do was graph the equation. So the first one with a minute and a half was a little harder. Then it got easier and easier, and by the 15-second one, they just had to write the thing down. So, and then at the end, they would all hold their boards up, and it was really engaging. The kids really liked it. I thought it was great. I was getting into it. This kid sitting in the back was really struggling, and I was kind of like whispering in his ear, like, no, 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 it's positive slope, and he was like, oh, and he'd erase it and then put a positive slope in there, and then he'd hold it up, and yeah, so a lot more active learning, a lot less passive mimetic stuff. I mean, there's always room for lecture in a math class, but it was way more, active instead of passive. And I really like that. That's what I've been looking for is like, how do we make this happen in a math class? How can I not just stand up in front of them and talk at them for an hour? So that was really good. And as far as we've been working on expectations and routines, I also saw an honors algebra 2 class. So I saw ESL, I saw team taught algebra 2, I saw honors algebra 2 all on the first day. So this is like huge. It's so much better experience. So in the honors algebra 2 class, I saw a lot of what we're talking about as far as like turning things in. They have baskets set up in one area of the room with class by class, and kids know exactly where to turn stuff in. This school has a little bit more money, so there's like all kinds of resources: staplers, hole punchers, little whiteboards, markers, erasers. There's all kinds of stuff. The math classes are lined with posters of cool math puzzles all over the walls, and I mean it's just like it's night and day from what I was in. I mean literally night and day. Some of the math classes I was in at East, I'm not trying to knock East because it is a good school for what they're working with and stuff, but the walls were just like bare walls, white. I mean, nobody wanted to be there. And at Lakewood, it's totally different. I mean, there's like cool stuff on the walls, and there's like kids are engaged and kids are learning actively, and it's just I couldn't be happier. I'm finally getting what I need out of a field experience, and I feel like I'm part of a team. I feel like I'm learning. I'm getting a chance to practice. So as far as getting these lessons done, no big deal. I'm probably going to be able to do lessons in any one of these teachers' classes that I observed yesterday on Friday. They were all so nice and all so willing to let me help and learn. Let's see, it's getting 8 minutes now. I'm getting close. What else do I want to talk about? So students really seem to like respect each other as far, I mean, there's always exceptions. Some kids always talk out, but man, these kids really seem to not just want to go home. They kind of enjoyed being there, and these are math classes. So, I mean, they were all interested and having fun. The last class I observed was a freshman seminar. So these were kids who were flagged for behavior issues, bad grades, and whatever. Some of them looked like troublemakers, if I was to be judgmental about it. Some of them looked like, I don't know why you're in here. And it was for them to like get homework done and stuff like that. So I was able to work in that class for like 2 hours, or an hour and a half or so, and tutor. So I mean, I was just straight tutoring, going around helping everybody, math, English, anything. I was just helping them all out. So that was really cool. Um, so yeah, and then even after I was leaving, I had all my stuff together. I was ready to leave. I said bye, and then they kind of just sat and talked with me. These two teachers, the lady I'm with, and this other guy who kind of seemed to be the head of the department there. I know that the lady I'm with is the head of the math department, but this other guy seems wicked smart. He knows a lot, and we just talked about teaching logarithms. I mean, it was something that I'm working on in one of my classes, so I had a lot to say about it, and they listened to my ideas, and they like really genuinely liked what I had to say, and they gave me all this information. They were like, oh, you should look at this website, and they wrote me down some information. They were showing me all this stuff, and I was just like, it was so nice. I felt really part of a team, and it was amazing. It really was. So I know this video is a little long, and I'll wrap it up, but I couldn't be happier with where I'm at now, and I'm really excited to. It's kind of a bummer that it's almost done. We've only got 5 weeks left, but it's okay. At least I'm getting what I need. I saw what I don't want to do teaching, and now I'm seeing exactly how I want to teach. I mean, so it's great. It really is awesome. So I hope you guys are getting what I'm getting now, because now I can see really what these field placements are for, um, and it's great. So I couldn't be happier. We'll see you guys on Monday. I hope you all have a great weekend, and thanks for listening. I know it was long, but thanks for listening. I'm really having a great time. So I'll keep you guys updated. I'll let you know what happens next week. Bye.